Hello everyone! My name is Jennifer Stay and welcome to Coloring Bliss. This is little Rose. She wanted to hang out in my hands for a minute. So she's having a little visit with Mom, and I just finished drawing the next element onto our mandalas. Mandalas? Mandalas. So welcome to Mandala May. I have declared it that this is Mandala May. So I hope you are excited. And if you're not excited, you're going to be excited by the end of this 1 hour part of our weekly live event. If you missed the first part of our weekly live event, it was over on Facebook. We do the first part on Facebook, and then we come over here to do the second part with you here on YouTube. Huh, Rose? Because we love both our Facebook and our YouTube family, and we want everybody to be included with our weekly live events, and that's why we split it into 2 parts. So I'm excited to be with you and share with you our free tool that we have for you to help you create your own mandalas. Have you ever wanted to try drawing your own? Well, hopefully by the end of you watching me play around with this tool and teach you a little bit about mandalas, you'll be excited about trying to draw your own mandala. Or if you'd like to, you can download this one right here, which is one of that I've drawn right here. And it's a nice springy one with tulips all the way around it that you can download and enjoy coloring. And I have an entire book that is ready for you to come and download and print if you would like to. That's, oh, Steve, will you hand it to me? It's right behind you. That's this book right here. Mandala Bliss. This is volume 1, and actually I am working on volume 2 right now. I have 13 brand new mandalas that I've already drawn, and as soon as I've got all 20 drawn, we'll release it to you sometime this month. I'm drawing as fast as I can, and so as soon as I have that drawn, we'll release that book to you. So in the meantime, you can come and enjoy Mandala Bliss. You can either enjoy it in the printed version like this, where you get to pick whatever paper you want, or you can enjoy it digitally, thanks to Steve. You want to tell them all about it?
Sure.
So this has always been available only in printed version, and only the art in it is only been available printed too. Right. But now I made it a digital product that you can buy, $15. It's a 30-page download, and 34 technically with the covers and all of that, but 30. There are 30 mandalas in there. And we also made it available as a free bonus gift to those who sign up for our Bliss Booster membership, Bliss Colorist, Apprentice, or Partner. Yeah.
So you can get it for free by signing up. So like a Bliss Colorist, it's only $5, and you get a free copy of this book, as well as over 400 other coloring pages and tools. Yeah. So if you've been thinking about becoming a member over at Coloring Bliss, then do it, because you can celebrate Mandala May by downloading this brand new, well, it's not a brand new book, but it's new art that's never been available digitally before. Right. So come and get it. Now, also, we are giving this very book right here away as a giveaway this week. So if you'd like a chance to win this book, it's printed on the beautiful mixed media paper. So it's available as a giveaway. So enter. There's a link in the video description where you can enter for a chance to win this very book right here. So make sure you enter. We'll be announcing the winner for this book next week during our regular weekly live event. So good luck, everybody, and come and enter for your chance to win this book. Speaking of giveaways, we did this giveaway last week while I was struggling with the chameleons. I announced this giveaway last week, and we have a winner for these 5 beautiful chameleon markers. Steve, let's get you on here again. Back again. And why don't you announce the winner? Okay, congratulations, Star Patrick. Now, Star usually comes in a little bit later on our YouTube broadcast, so hopefully, Star, you'll you'll come in and learn that you've won these.
Yeah, that's very cool because she's one of our very long-time fans. I think she found us on YouTube, actually. We'll find out. Anyways, she won these beautiful markers. So she'll hopefully get on here and we can all say congratulations when she pops in.
Yep.
So
if you see her pop in, tell her congratulations.
Okay, very cool. I sure like doing our weekly giveaways. It's been lots of fun. So, all right. So,
did you also mention the free download, the free mandala?
Yeah, I think so. If not, I'll mention it again. Come and get this one. It's free for a limited time. So come and get this one and celebrate all the spring tulips that are popping up. Hopefully they're popping up in your neighborhood. They are in mine.
What I'm thinking is I'll just release a new free one every week.
Ooh, to celebrate Mandala May.
Yes.
So make sure you come over and become at least a free member at coloringbliss.com so that you can enjoy the free mandalas every week this Mandala May. So, and remember, like I said over on Facebook, Steve and I are very careful to protect your email when you become a free member over at Coloring Bliss. We don't share it with anyone. We are very careful with your information. So you can feel safe and secure with us at Coloring Bliss. Now, also, we have a tool for you to help you with drawing mandalas, and I'm working on it right here, right now. This is the mandala we started over on Facebook, and this was the beginning where I was demonstrating all the different kinds of shapes that you can put on your mandala. And from these humble beginnings, we have transformed and begun to create this beautiful mandala right here. This is the tool that you can download right here. I have it taped to my surface, or I would lift it up and show you. This is the tool. This is the exact tool that I use. I draw my mandalas on Procreate. It's an app on my iPad. And this is the exact kind of tool I use in my Procreate app to help me plan out and create the mandalas that are going into the new book. And the mandala on my wall back there, hopefully you saw, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you saw a little 30-second snippet of how I drew that mandala back there using this template right here. So what I'm going to do is continue to build this mandala, teach you how to use it, and we're going to discuss a little bit more again. I did over on Facebook, but I want to talk more with you about the therapeutic ways of using mandalas, whether you draw them or color them. They're a very therapeutic, relaxing form of art that is very helpful, and it's awesome. And it's very, it comes from long history. Mandalas come from the Mayans used them, the Aztecs used them. That's a very symbolic religious item from the Buddhists and the Hindus, and anyway, almost every religion, Christianity, all of them use some form of a mandala. So it's something very kind of innate. It's even, you slice open an orange and there's a mandala inside of an orange. So they're everywhere when you start looking. And even on my shirt, I showed everybody over on Facebook that even on my shirt there's a mandala. So if you start looking around, you're going to start seeing mandalas everywhere because they are everywhere. In fact, I showed some pictures over on Facebook, and I want to show them again to all of you because they are so inspirational, and they're going to get your eye sort of trained to start seeing mandalas everywhere. So Steve, can you help me show everybody those pictures of mandalas?
Yes, but really quick, Mary Lynn donated to our channel.
Mary Lynn, thank you so much for donating. You can't write on that. That's my beautiful drawing of shapes. You can't have that. You can have another piece of paper.
Okay.
But you can't draw on
Everybody
this.
was saying you need to put that on the fridge.
This is epic art. This should be a coloring page in and of itself. I think everyone wants to color this. Thank you so much, Mary Lynn. Okay. Steve, will you link up your computer and show everybody the art, the photographs that I found that show off how mandalas are kind of everywhere. It also shows a couple other artists that are doing some mandalas in very unique ways. So Steve is bringing it up and linking up his computer. He's making all this computer magic happen.
Okay, let's get over here.
He's linking.
And here.
He's doing his magic with the software. I'm going to take a drink while he makes the magic. Oh, it's working.
Here we go.
Okay, so this first picture, that's my son and his beautiful bride right there in the middle of that beautiful mandala. That is the Utah State Capitol, and on the floor of the Capitol was a mandala. And you'll find mandalas in architecture all over, so that's pretty cool. Here is an artist that does dot paintings with acrylic paint on a canvas, and that is a mandala. You can also do that same kind of dot painting and do mandalas on rocks. I've seen that done a lot. You see that all over Pinterest. It's so beautiful. Now this is one that Steve hadn't seen before. I need to show.
This one in the plate.
I haven't shown Steve these yet. This Kathy Klein, she has all kinds of images just like this. If you like this, you need to go look up Kathy Klein on Pinterest. She has so many like this where she actually deconstructs flowers and she then turns the flowers into mandalas, and she calls each petal, she says that every petal is like a stroke of paint, and then she turns them into mandalas, and so stunning. This is, of course, a piece of crocheted some crochet. I don't know how else to say it, but I used to do crochet all the time, and when I started drawing mandalas, I realized a lot of my crochet patterns were that they were mandalas. And so yeah, even your crochet is mandalas. And there are some tiles, and I was looking at some tiles. Where were they? I can't remember where we were. Oh, it was a restaurant, and the tiles in the restaurant bathroom were mandalas as well. And I was like, wow, they really are just really everywhere. So Steve, this one's your other favorite, huh?
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
So I think this is a Russian artist, and these plates are all over on Pinterest as well, and they are some of my most inspiring things. When I want to draw a mandala, I come and look at hers and get ideas because,
that color palette makes me want to color.
Yeah, and you should see some of her other art. Oh my goodness, so gorgeous. And of course, here is a piece of china, and that's full-on mandala right there, and it's got a repeated pattern. It's a rose all the way around, roses and lots of beautiful patterns all the way around there. So yep, there are mandalas everywhere. So start looking because you're going to see them everywhere. I'll even show you my shirt. Okay, Steve, you're going to be on camera again here.
Okay.
This is my shirt I wore specifically for this event because I have a mandala on this shirt. When I bought this one, I was like, look, it's got a mandala on it. There's the center point right there with the rays coming out and repeated pattern. It's a mandala on my shirt. Pretty cool.
Oh, thank you, Angela. Angela donated as well.
Oh, thank you, Angela. Sure appreciate all the support for our channel, you guys. Thank you so much. So I want to celebrate mandalas because they are one of my most favorite forms of art. One of my favorite things to draw. They're so relaxing and very satisfying, creatively satisfying.
Pepper asked, are mandalas always circular?
Most of the time. They can be kind of square. Let me show you my notes. I've got my little notebook here where I wrote down my research on mandalas. I'm not going to read it all because we already went over the vast majority of this over on Facebook, but I do want to read a little bit of it. This is Webster's definition of a mandala, a Hindu or Buddhist graphic symbol of the universe. The second definition is it's a graphic and often symbolic pattern, usually a circle, divided, bearing a multiple projection of an image. Okay. And then over on Facebook, we talked about when it transitioned from an Eastern type theory or type symbol, Hindu and Buddhist, to more of a therapeutic Western type idea. And it was this man here, Carl, how did they say it? Jung. And David Fontana. So back in 1875 and 1934, that's when these two men were born. This is a Swiss psychiatrist and a British psychologist. These two men were the first two men that sort of took the idea of a mandala and brought it to the West. These are the words they use to describe what a mandala can do for you for therapy type reasons. That's meditation. It gives balance. It helps stabilize. It can kind of integrate all of your feelings and thoughts. It gives you harmony. It helps with wholeness, and it's a creative expression. So that's kind of what they described when they use mandalas for therapy with their patients. That's the therapeutic properties of a mandala, which I think is amazing. And then over here is what we covered when we were over on Facebook, to kind of talking about how mandalas are usually circular. Typically, mandalas have a center point with rays, and they have repeating shapes, lines, and symbols. Create a simple sketch on a paper. It can be simple. It can be intricate. We talked about how mandalas can be relaxing because it's repetitive. And we're going to talk more about that out here in YouTube, how to use it as therapy, because it has to be intentional. You can't just kind of do it as therapy. When you use art as therapy, it has to be intentional. And then whether you color a pre-drawn mandala or draw your own unique design or create one from natural objects like we saw with the flowers, you could do it on the beach with sand or stones. Mandalas can be inspirational and creatively satisfying. So that's kind of a brief synopsis of what we talked about over on Facebook.
There were a couple have mentioned kind of the similarities to that and Zentangle.
Yep, Zentangle. I think that's probably how I was first introduced to mandalas, was through Zentangle. And when I first learned about mandalas that way, they were very strict about the whole Zentangle movement in the beginning was very strict. You weren't supposed to use rulers. You weren't supposed to use pencil. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
You were supposed to go straight to ink, no rulers, and just like draw. And they were so... You guys know me. I don't like rules. I like... I like making mistakes, and I like doing it my way, and so I didn't like all that, so I just ignored all that. I used all the rulers I wanted, all the pencils and erasers I wanted, and did Zentangling my own way, and I was much happier when I did it that way. So, yeah. So for me, when I use art like Zentangle or mandalas for therapy, the way I do it is I try to focus and breathe, and I try to lose myself in the repetitive motions. And I try to, if I have like a stress that I'm dealing with or a pain that I'm dealing with, I acknowledge those things and then I try to let them go. So I think, oh, I'm really stressed about bills. Okay, but right now it's not bill time. Right now is art time. I'm going to acknowledge that I'm upset about that. If I need to write it down, I'm worried about bills, so I'm going to write it on a list, and then I'm not going to think about it for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to draw. So that's how I do it, and it's very intentional, and I think it through that way, and that's how I do it when I go into it for therapeutic purposes. Or if I'm in pain, I think, my hip is really hurting me, but okay, I'm going to try not to think about it. I'm going to think about my pencil moving across the paper. How does it feel? Is it soft? Do I feel the tooth of the paper? How does the eraser feel when I'm erasing? And does it smell? Can I smell the eraser? Yeah, I can smell that. That's the kind of thing I do. Very mindful, very, very put myself in the moment and try to put all of me into it while I'm doing it. And that's how I lose myself in it and stop thinking about the stress and the pain and lose yourself for at least a little bit. And it really works. Doesn't take it all away. The bills are still there. The hip pain is still there, but it does help you ignore it for a little while. So that's how I do it. How do you do it, Rose? Because you're sure listening really intently. Tell us how you do it. Oh, you use this? This is how you do it? Well, let me tell them about it. Rose wants me to tell you about this ruler right here. I was teasing everybody over on Facebook and told them that I would tell you guys about this cool ruler. Now, if you don't want to use my template, This is a ruler I highly recommend. It's really cool. So I'm going to show you how it works. This one I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I think, Steve, did you find it at all? Or
Yeah.
Okay,
I found
good.
it
On Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Okay, good. How much
It's
was
only
it on
like
Amazon?
$4.64.
Okay, good. So it's not much more than when you pick it up at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so this is how this ruler works. I'm going to crack into it and show you. Well, Rose really wants to be a part of this ruler. Check it out. You want to help? Let's open this up and show them how this ruler works. Because this is a really cool tool. I picked these up. I think this is maybe my 4th or my 5th of these kinds of rulers because they kind of break easily. Like they twist because the plastic is a little wimpy and then they kind of crack. Usually between these little circles is where they crack, huh? What do you think? She likes it. Okay, let me show you. So it's right between these little circles that they tend to crack. So what you do with this ruler, so cool. Let's show them, Rose. Where'd my pencil go? Did it fall on the floor, Steve? Or did you steal my pencil?
Right there.
He stole my pencil. Okay, so, you need to get down. Okay, all right. Let's put her down. We'll bring her back in a minute. Okay, so this is like a typical protractor. Is that what they're called? It's got all your degrees of the 360 degrees of your circle and all that good stuff. So if you want all that, you can do that. I think what I used to do is I would like draw, this is going to be really loose and messy, but it'll give you the idea. I used to draw like, you know, an X in the middle, and then you line up your 0 degree and your 180 degree, and because I didn't do it just right, but normally you would get your 90 and your 270 over there, right? Then to get your, what?
Oh, all right.
Oh, and then to get your first circle, you brace it down like this, and hopefully your pencil is sharp enough, and you get it in the circle, and say you want one at the 1-inch hole, and you put it in there, and look, it draws your 1-inch circle. Look how cool. And then another circle like this, and you come out here and draw another circle out here. And then I would go around and I could mark, I want a ray at every 30 degrees. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. So I would go around and make a mark at every 240, 270, 300, 330, and then 360. So you've got marks like that, and then you come in with your ruler and bada boom, bada bang.
Tamara just donated. She says, "Hi Jen, I also suffer from bad chronic pain, having damaged my back very badly.
Oh,
I use coloring to take my mind off my pain. Keep the videos coming. I love them."
oh, Tamara, thank you so much. I hope you have a low pain day tonight so you can color. Okay, there you have it. Now your mandala is set up, and then you have all these cute little circles, and they have little ticks on them, so you know exactly where the center part of each of your of the circle is. So you line up that tick and that tick and that tick, and as long as you line everything up, you can get a circle lined up on your radius just right, and ta-da! That's how that tool works. Isn't that cool? It does a lot more than that. Like there's different things that this line does and that line does, and then these rulers right here are my favorite rulers for drawing because you can see through it, and it has lots of marks on it that help you with doing your drawing. So these two rulers are my recommendation for rulers, this round one here and this one here. If you need to get even bigger circles, you have to get a compass like we had when we were in school back in the olden days. And then I also have a shorter version like this, and it's I bought 2 of these and cut this in half just with regular scissors, and that gave me a smaller version of this, and that helps as well. And this is really inexpensive as well. So those are my favorite ruler type tools, this one and this one, if you want to freehand your own setup for a mandala. That's what I recommend. So that's how that little tool works. It's really fun and makes drawing up a mandala really fast and easy. Or you can come to our website and download this. Ta-da! All the work is done for you and then some. This tool has all of the radiuses and circles all lined up for you. Plus I've done some little tick marks, which I'm going to explain. And I have some straight lines on the end, which help you line up some borders. If you look at this free page that you can come download, you can see how I built. Basically, the whole mandala is built on something like this. Here's your straight lines for where I drew the circles for the edges here. And then all of them are built on these types of rays with the circles, and it's just built on this type of template. So that's why I built this for you. And you can either practice actually drawing the mandala right onto the template, or you can do what I'm suggesting, which is to lay a piece of paper over the template and draw the mandala onto the piece of paper. I recommend using a pencil first, and then once you get your mandala drawn the way you want, then you can ink over it with like a Sharpie marker, gel pen, whatever you want. You do want to be a little careful what you ink with though, because when you go to color, whatever you've inked with, if it's not permanent enough, if you go and start coloring, it could, like if you've used a water-based marker like a Tombow to ink with, this is water-based, and then you start coloring with other Tombows like these, it will activate the black ink and sort of mix in and make that ink move. So be careful. You want to use something permanent to do your inking, like a Sharpie. Just a cheap old Sharpie will do really great.
Carolyn just donated. So thank you,
Carolyn. Thank you so much. Okay.
She's been, well, I know you know this. Anyway, she's been helping us with our Facebook group.
Oh yeah, Carolyn. We just made her a moderator over on our Facebook group.
Oh, it's been so nice.
Has it been helpful?
Yeah, it's been super
good.
Helpful. I really appreciate it.
Oh, poor Steve. He does all the moderating and running our website. And today I put him to work getting all of these free tools out for you guys. And so, yeah, so thankful. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Okay, so when we left off over on Facebook with this, I had just finished drawing these sort of bowed out triangles onto our mandala, and then I drew these little circles. You guys didn't see me draw these circles, so let me zoom down a little better so you can see better. Now, one problem I'm having is I've taped this all down to my work surface, so I can't rotate it or move it around. What I would recommend for you guys at home is to tape this down to maybe a clipboard or something that you can rotate and move it so it's at a good angle to your hand, so you're not doing like me when you get around the corner and you're trying to get your hand in the right position. Okay, so I'm going to finish drawing in my little circles like this, and then we're going to add another element. Okay, so really basic, simple shapes. We've got a half circle, kind of a bowed out triangle, and little full circles. That's all we've drawn onto this mandala. And like I said over on Facebook, the great and forgiving thing about a mandala is that because it's built on these circles and on these rays, the repeated pattern makes it so that your eye will skip over and not see little wobbles and errors that your hand makes. So if you feel a little not too confident with your art, or you're worried your hand's going to shake or something, kind of give yourself a break, because the repeated motion of the mandala and the nice geometric shape of the mandala is going to be a very forgiving place for you to practice your art. So be happy about that.
Jack just donated.
Jack, thank you so much for helping our channel. You guys are awesome. And don't forget to hit a like if you are enjoying this too. So thank you so much to you, Jack, and all the people donating to our channel. Thank you. Okay, let's get this. Maybe you can do your picture-in-picture magic, Steve, because I'm going to show them how to add the next element. Okay, so I'm going to show you which element I'm going to try. Here is our beautiful drawing. This is the next element right here I'm going to try. And this one is really hard for me to learn how to draw. And I think the reason it was hard is because my brain likes to draw one way, but then I had to force my mind to do the same line the opposite direction.
What is it?
Maybe if you close that window, would it help her?
Maybe.
So she can't see out? Okay, sorry. She's alerting us. Maybe she saw a bird or something. So, if this shape is a little tricky for you, you are in good company. And my recommendation, I'm going to show you how I recommend you try to draw this very shape, okay? So I want to draw this shape. As you can see, these lines have a dot up here on this circle. And that's my connect the dot point that we're going to shoot for. So I'm going to start the shape. I'm not going to start it right. Oh, maybe I will. Let's just do it easy. We're going to start it right here. I'll make sure you can see. You can't. So let's come down here. Okay. I'm going to start it here. Go up, squish, and point. I kind of talk to myself when I do hard shapes like this. So up, squish, and point. Now I'm getting good at being able to do both directions, but what I used to do is go all the way around my whole mandala with one side of that tricky shape. So up, squish, I'll say it, messed up. Up, squish, and point. Okay, and we're headed for that dot that's in the middle between this ray and this ray on that circle line. There's that dot, and that's our connect the dot point. So up, squish, and point. Up, squish, and point. Okay, so that's how I used to do it before I had my hand better trained. I would go all the way around doing the same line, because I kind of would get my hand in the groove, you know? And my hand would be like, I know what I'm doing now. I can do this. But if I kept trying to go back and forth, if I kept trying to go back and forth.
Oops. Sorry. I put something on there. It won't come off. There we go. This is what I meant to do. And
okay. So it always looks really odd when you get to this point because you only have half that shape. They look like little like flippers hanging out there, but you got to trust the process here. Now we're going to go back the other direction. Up, squish, and point. Up,
Amy says most of my doodles
point.
have that shape. It's like my mindless shape. LOL.
It's your mindless one? I have to concentrate. You're amazing that you can do it mindless. My brain does not like this shape. Up, squish, and point.
He says makes good leaves.
Yeah. Up, squish, and point. I have to talk myself through it, especially when I change direction. Up, squish, and point. Then once I get in the groove, especially if I can rotate my paper and not stuck to a table like I am right now. Oh, that one's really ugly. We gotta fix that one. Up, squish, and point. And the other thing I try to remind myself is this is the pencil layer, so I can correct some of my squonkly lines when I get to the inking point. I try to get it pretty accurate. So that inking is as easy and mindless as possible. But, you know, there's some correcting that you can do when you get to the inking point. Okay, we did it. We made it all the way around, and it's starting to look even more magnificent. I love it once you make it all the way around one element and you look at it and go, ooh, I did that. That's so cool. Okay, now you start thinking, now what? What should I do? What do I want it to look like? And there's just so many options. Let's see. Let's do something more in the middle. Let's build something else in the middle here.
Tika says, even with rotating the page, mine turned out bad, LOL. But this is just practice to learn it, so I'm not worried.
Right, that's right. And you guys have to remember, I've drawn, I don't know how many mandalas. Tons of mandalas, little mandalas, big mandalas. So yeah, and look how squonky, is that my word for the night?
Guitar was laughing at that.
Look how squonky mine looks.
Or squonkily.
Squonkily. Mine looks very squonkily, but we're making improvements. So again, remember, this is just the pencil layer, and when we go to ink it, it's going to look even better. And then when you add color, it looks even better. So this is like step 1, right? And I saved you some work because I gave you the template. That was really step 1. So this is more like step 2. So remember, this is a journey, and you're relaxing and you're enjoying every step. And you start seeing things like, you know, I kind of like this, but these two shapes are starting to look like maybe they're the same shape. I kind of don't like that. So I'm going to come in and add a detail. And one of my favorite details is just to do like a silhouette of the same shape inside itself like this. And this always makes it look really pretty, and it's a fun thing to color. Gives it a second layer of color you get to add. And it's connecting the dots, right? There's the ray is right here. So I'm just doing the same kind of bowed out triangle, starting it here and touching the ray right there. And then you just relax because you've already made the decision. It's looking good. So now you just follow it all the way around your mandala. And you just relax and enjoy the drawing process.
Mary Lynn thinks we need to do a book of Jenniferisms.
Oh dear, that would be a little scary, I think.
Deanna says you should see my mandala. Palm in the face.
I bet it's better than you think.
Karen says that last shape we did, she thinks of as the Hershey's Kiss.
Yeah, it's totally that. Okay. I'll just follow this around. I start thinking about colors, like how fun it would be to color this a bright gold and maybe this a deep blue. And I start imagining colors in my mandala, and that's when I start getting excited. Okay, let's do something in the middle of this mandala now. Like I said, I like doing the middle ring is my favorite part of the mandala. The outside edges are not my favorite part, and the inside edges are such fine details. I get a little bit frustrated sometimes. So there's ways around that. If you don't like fine details, you can skip rays. You don't have to do, like I don't have to do a detail in every single ray like that. I can skip a couple. Combine them. So let's do that. Let's combine them. And I'm going to do the flat, squashy, square shape. Let's do the flat, squashy, square shape. So what we do is basically go up, and we're not going to go all the way to the corner of this intersection of the ray and the circle. We're going to cut the corner and make it go like that. Up, cut the corner back down. So each corner gets cut.
Robin says I get stuck on what to do next, so I wrote a list of shapes, number them, and use dice to pick the next shape.
Oh, fun! That's so fun! That would be a fun thing to make as a mandala game. Oh, see, I wish I could rotate it, because then I could have gotten that shape to look better. My brain doesn't like it when I can't rotate things. These are really, really strange. Shaped, squashed squares. Okay, so you can go look at Pinterest for ideas of shapes. That's a really great place to go look. Like I said, I have a whole Pinterest board dedicated to mandalas, and that's where I go get ideas, and I do exactly like what, who was it that said that's what they do with the dice?
Oh, Robin.
Robin. I'll go and look and I'll say, ooh, I like that shape she put in her mandala, and I'll add it to mine and do it my own way, and I'll get her shape idea. And that is really helpful to add shapes. Flowers are a great place. The different shapes of petals on a flower. That's a great way to get ideas for shapes on a mandala as well. Okay, so we've got this kind of cool looking thing going on in the middle, and we need to connect this ring to this ring somehow. So I think I'm going to, let's go, looks to me like we've got a natural way to connect going this direction. So let's go up and see what that does. Let's see what happens. Sometimes you'll find happy accidents, like you'll start just going for it.
Deborah and Jerry says they look good. Look very good, Jen.
Thank you.
Polly says flat, squishy squares equals FSS.
See, look, I made a heart. I didn't mean to do that, but the hearts appeared. Isn't that cool? Sometimes things appear in your mandala that you didn't mean to appear, and I just broke my...
Looks like the gel pen from last week or whatever.
When you killed my gel pen for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so kind of you to kill that gel pen.
You're welcome.
I'm going to put the tip there. Okay, Carl. I don't need it super sharp, Carl. Just kind of sharp. Go, Carl, go. Are you doing anything, Carl? I don't know if he's doing anything. Carl.
It says, Jen, I love watching this. Probably not this part here, but Jen, I love watching this and listening to you right now. Your voice is so relaxing, and this is helping me forget about being sick right now.
Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. Am I not? Oh, it helps to crank Carl the right direction.
Is it going to be the super long?
I'm trying not to do it too long. There, I did better than last time I used Carl. Okay, back to my unintentional hearts.
Danny says, love your nails, Jennifer.
Thank you. Sparkle, sparkle. Okay. Back to
I
my
love the hearts.
Yeah, isn't that fun? Oh, look, they look like bunny ears. These look like bunny ears, and I'm seeing all kinds of things. I wonder what Freud would say of my art therapy mandala having hearts and bunny ears in it.
Oh, yeah. Anna says, Jen, do you remember that clipboard you previewed for us a couple years ago? I bought one that rotates, and I think it would be perfect for this.
That would be so perfect. I've got it handy, too. I should have used it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what you should have put it on.
Yeah. Oh, well.
What's the name of that again?
I can't remember. But it was by Totally Tiffany.
Oh, yeah, Totally Tiffany.
Yeah, that's a cool board. Okay.
Joyce thinks the top petals look like the one on a pineapple. Oh, she's hungry for one.
Yeah. Oh, you could totally go again Oh, except we need to finish down here, Jennifer.
Kelly asked if you've ever been in the middle of a mandala and gave up on it, or do you just find ways to save it?
I think I've probably one or two given up on. Sometimes you get into them and they look like one you've done before. Like if I'm drawing it for a coloring page, I'll get into one and it looks like one too much like one I've done before, so I'll stop. Or it's like just not exciting to me. But I usually abandon them pretty early on, like in this stage is when I'll abandon it, not when I've gotten to like the inking stage. So it doesn't get very far before I'll abandon it. So if I get into inking, then I'm usually in love with it by then and excited and already picturing colors happening and picturing what you guys will do with it. Like at this point, if this was for a coloring page, I would start imagining, you know, they need more details. They're going to want to add colors here or there. This looks too boring up here. They'll want more here or there. And I start imagining you guys, what do you want with it? So like, for instance, these look too much like hearts to me. If this was a coloring page and it's not Valentine's Day, I would change this up so it wouldn't look like hearts. I would do something to take away from the hearts. But where this is just for me and I kind of like the hearts, I think they're kind of charming and I don't care because it's not Valentine's Day, so I'd just leave them and enjoy it. So I could do like, oh, let's add a little, make these look like little flowers maybe. So I end up adding details, and we're just going to turn these into little flowers for fun. Sometimes I add details at this stage, sometimes I add them at the inking stage. It's just kind of, because this is for therapy and for the creative bliss, the joy of it. You follow what is making you happy. Lose yourself in the mandala. That was just sounds so prophetic. Lose yourself in the mandala. Okay, let's close off this in the middle. And I'm going to just make it a full circle with a circle in the middle. That's nice. I like that. And then I think I want some little shapes like this. Some like half moon or U shapes like this. Ooh, I like that. Another place to add like gold bling or something. That's fun. Now I feel like we need something out here. We've got almost a full ring here. Or we could come off of here. Sometimes I like coming out. We could repeat the circles. Let's repeat a circle here like this. A good rule of thumb when I'm drawing mandalas is try to repeat some of the shapes so it feels a little cohesive. So if I have little circles here, I try to repeat the circle somewhere else so it feels like I didn't just put circles in one spot and they didn't really fit there. So I'm going to have little circles in multiple spots. You can see I did that here on this one. The circles were the border, so I made sure there were circles in other places. Otherwise, the circles out on the border wouldn't have made any sense. So that's why there were circles added in multiple places, so it would feel like they belonged there. Okay.
Lynn says, I'd like to draw some hearts in a mandala, but I can't draw a heart to save my life. It's very frustrating.
Hearts are really hard. They are hard. That's why I was surprised when they started appearing there. Okay, then I'm going to draw little stems. Like these are kind of growing out of this. I like that.
Amy says, I got the broad idea to color this mandala with Copics and a 3-color blend. My hands are starting to hurt from opening and closing the caps.
Oh, caps are a pain.
Tika says, that's looking so nice. Maybe make this into a download for us to
Maybe
cover?
so. What I would probably do, I'll have to tell you what I would do to digitize this. What I would do, I'd probably take a photo of it using my iPad and then bring it into Procreate.
Oh, yeah, and then just ink it.
And then ink it in Procreate.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm thinking these little shapes, my squishy petal shapes, are looking rather empty and plain now. So I'm going to do something for them. Let's, that? Nah, I don't like that. How about we could do like I've done on the other ones? Like that. I don't like that either. Let's use this eraser.
Michaela says, I'll be posting my finished mandala from tonight's event on the group page on Facebook.
Awesome. I want to see how you guys use this template and what mandalas you create. I can't wait to see. Our Facebook group, have you posted that yet?
Accidentally, but I'll do it on purpose.
That's our Facebook group, and I would love to see what you guys draw. And I'm curious to see, will you color them, or are you just going to draw and then ink them? Like, I have a lot of satisfaction just from the sketching and inking. Sometimes that's enough for me. I feel totally creatively satisfied, and I can stop at that point and feel just fine. But sometimes I have to keep going and add the color. So I'll be curious to see what you do. Do you end up doing the full thing, coloring it and everything? I'm just so excited to see what you guys do.
Donna says, Procreate. I have to learn it.
Procreate is so much fun.
Kelly says, Jen, thank you for introducing the mandalas. This is one of the most relaxing ideas I've worked on in a long time.
Oh, cool. I'm excited. Remember to try doing small mandalas too. You can use this template to do, like, ignore all these rings and just do a tiny little mandala. You don't have to do a full-size page. You could do little baby ones too. Those are really fun too. Okay.
Jimmy Lynn says, I love this mandala.
Thank you. Okay, let's draw. And then we've got this line out here for the border.
Oh, Tamra, she donated again and says, I had to donate again because as much as I love coloring mandalas, I can't draw them. For some reason, they never turn out very good.
Oh, thank you for your double donation. Okay, there I drew the lines. There's something about adding the lines to the sides of my mandalas that is very satisfying to me. It goes from feeling like the mandala is just floating and not really finished to feeling grounded and like it's this piece of finished art. So you should try that. See if you have that same sensation. Just adding that line there really helps. Sometimes I don't add a solid line. Sometimes I use the line to create, like here where it's just like bubbles. So you could add bubbles, but it still has that feeling of a border on the side. So highly recommend trying a border of some type around your mandala and see if it makes you feel like, wow, it's now a solid, grounded piece of art. See if that works for you too. Okay, now we've got these rays that come out, and the reason I kept them traveling all the way to the edge for you is because they can be fun to add a little extra onto it. So some of the things I do sometimes, I did this for my sisters. I created a mandala for my sisters once. And what you can do is write on the rays and put words down that you're thinking about as you're drawing. So if you're doing this for therapy and you've been thinking about something like, let's see, I'm going to write down some of the words that I've been thinking about for my art lately. So I'm going to write on this ray the word practice, because I've been feeling like I need to do more practicing. Okay, and then I want to be braver with my art. So this is kind of a personal thing. So where you're doing your own personal mandalas, you're not creating this for a coloring book or anyone. This is for you. You could do the same kind of thing. I want to be more mindful with my art so I can like spend time and enjoy it. So I want to be more mindful. And I'm going to put the word joy because it gives me lots of joy. And this is a very small line, so I need a small word. Yeah, joy is always a good word to throw in there, right? So I need one more word right here. I'm going to put commitment. That's a long word. How do you spell commitment, Steve? C-O, 2 M's? M-M?
I think so.
I-T-M-E-N-T, commitment. I want to write the word bliss. That's a short word. I'm going to put this here because it gives me lots of bliss. I teach. I want to do more teaching.
Katara says this tutorial is very timely because she just got a sketchbook and she wants to, the cover is blank and she wants to do mandalas and the sparkle pops on the cover.
Oh, that would be so pretty.
Tika's having really fun doing this.
Cool.
Karen asked, if we want to color our picture after inking it, would you suggest taking a photo and printing it on better paper?
Probably.
Yeah, I would scan it or, like you said, take a photo or even...
Yeah. If you decide to use the template on, like you could use it with better paper, but you would want to use like a light board. Is that what they're called? Like I'm using really wimpy copy paper because I knew I would be doing it right here on this desk. But if you put it up against a window, you could probably use thicker paper, a nicer cardstock, and it would probably show through.
They've been throwing out a few words like heartfelt, peaceful, loving, caring.
I love that. I put heal, and I put bliss and teach. I liked heartfelt. Heartfelt.
Michelle says that this video is much more relaxing than last week.
Last week was not blissful or joyful. I was pretty brave last week, though, but it wasn't joyful. Okay, I've got one more ray right here that I can write a word on, and I'm going to write the word... I need to be more... I need to be more patient.
Gratitude.
Oh, I like that word. I think I want to be more
happiness.
Patient with myself. Sounds like you guys need to put words on your mandalas. Look how pretty that turned out with the words. I'm going to go here like this so you can see, and zoom out just a bit so you can see how pretty that looks with the words coming out from it like that.
Robin says kindness, Teresa, fearless.
Oh,
Donna,
fearless.
content.
Now I got to add fearless. And I like content too. I'm going to put content over here.
Polly recommends calm. Deb, creative.
Oh.
Relaxing.
Calm. Okay, we got room for one more. I'll do creative. I can't.
Joyce said colorful.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot you could do.
There. Look how fun that looks with the words all coming out on the rays like that. And then you can like add another border line and like that. So it looks very double bordery, and you could do circles out here to make it look more fancy and give you something else to color. You get the idea. Look at that. There we have it. That is how the template works. So I've taken to me, the hardest step is, like I said, setting up the mandala is the hardest step, this part. I've taken that away from you. So you don't have to worry about the math or how to lay it out and how to get everything to line up just right. That's done. So all you have to do is sit down and don't be afraid if your shapes look like this, because like I said, the repeating of the shapes, the staying within the rays and staying within the circles, so much is forgiven. Look how wonky my lines are, and all of that sort of melts away because your eye just follows the pattern, and look how nice it looks. I mean, it's not perfect, but who cares? It looks so soothing and pretty. And now if I wanted to, I can go in and ink it, add more details, and then if I still want to keep going, I could add color, and you can keep going and going if you want to. It's really up to you what you want to do. But I don't know about you, but I feel more relaxed. I feel creatively satisfied. All those words we read earlier that they talked about, what were the words that those psychologists from ever ago, they said, do you feel like meditation? I feel like it was very meditative. I feel more balanced and stabilized, definitely. Do I feel like I've integrated all of my feelings? I don't know about that one. Harmony, yes. Wholeness, yes. And definitely creative expression. So I think what Mr. Carl and Mr. David said is very true. So I think it's very well worth a try. And if you're a little intimidated, try making a mini mandala. Don't do a giant one, try a little one. And don't be afraid. Look at my wonky shapes and you can do it too. And like I said, if you don't want to try drawing it, then come and download this free one and just color and enjoy the coloring process, because you can do the same meditative type feeling. Pick your colors, kind of plan out the one tulip, and then just relax into it. Be very mindful as you go from flower to flower. Enjoy the process. Think about what you're doing. Think about the way the tools feel as you color around that mandala, and make it be a mindful practice so that you kind of lose yourself in that coloring process. See if it calms you. See what words come up. Maybe a word will come up like these words came up for me, and you can write it on your mandala here around the edges of your coloring, and see what comes of it as you're being therapeutic and very mindful of your coloring. See what happens. Maybe you'll find that mandalas are a therapy tool for you that you didn't realize as you go about it. So
Tweety asked, how do you make the ones that are elongated and not just circles?
Like that wonky one? Is that what we're talking about? Which ones?
I'm not sure.
This one's...
But they all thought this looked beautiful. They would love to color.
Okay,
so
I will
maybe we could make it next week's free.
Oh yeah, ooh, that would be fun.
Page.
Okay, I will take it. What I do... I was looking for my iPad and it's right here in front of me. What I do is I take a picture of it and take that photo and I bring it into Procreate. Procreate is my digital drawing app, and then I use the Apple Pencil, and basically the inking step, instead of me doing it right here with a Sharpie, I'll take this exact drawing and I will use it and ink in Procreate and ink right on top of this exact drawing that we did together. And then I send that inked drawing to Steve and he'll turn it into a coloring page for all of you. So come back next week and I will turn this into a coloring page for you. So I think that's cool. Should we put the words on it? Do you guys want the words on it? Or maybe I could just leave blank lines and you guys can put your own words on it. I kind of like that idea. That's what I'll do. I'll leave blank rays coming out of it and a place for you to write your own words as you're coloring it. So if you come up with a word that is a therapy type word while you're coloring, you can write it on the ray. So that's what I'll do. So you're not stuck with my word, teach. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck with my words. You want your own words. So that's what I'll do. I think that's a great idea. Did she say which shape she wanted?
She says like the one we printed out. I wonder if she means like...
On here?
The petals on there, maybe?
Is it this middle one you want?
Or the one above it?
Oh, let me point and you can't see. Okay, here's the one, Is this the one here that you were talking about?
I like the idea with words, by the way.
Okay.
Or with the lines, so you can do the words.
Okay, good.
And yeah, they really enjoyed this.
Oh, good. I really enjoyed it too. It was so much more relaxing than last week.
Let's see. Oh, so did you ask with words or without?
Yeah, I was asking with or without words, and then I answered my own question.
Oh, okay. A lot of them said yes, words, please.
Okay, and then I decided for them that I was going to leave a blank line for them to put their own words. Because I don't think they want my words. I think you want your own words.
Yeah, that are meaningful to you.
Yeah, so I'll leave blank lines, and then you can write in your own words.
Deb likes the idea of, or Tika, one with words, one without.
Oh, that's an idea too.
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea too. All right, I'll ponder that. Yeah, because you guys might not like some of my words. Anyway, I already said that. Okay, so have we had a response to which shape?
Oh, that's why. Donna says, I love your lettering. My handprinting is terrible.
See, and I'm looking at it going, they don't want that. That looks terrible.
Margot and Angela like, and Roberta, one with and one without.
Okay. I could pick some more generic words, like you guys don't want the word teach, but I could, maybe what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Okay. What I'm going to do, so make sure you're in the Facebook group, because I will put up I'll put up a post that says, I need some word suggestions, and I'll have everybody give me a whole bunch of word suggestions for this page, and then I will just randomly pick 14 of those words, and we'll put them on, and we'll have two versions, one with words and one without. That's what we'll do. Okay, so we've got a plan. So we're going to do one with words, and one without words.
And Deb likes the idea of both our words and your words.
You just want 10 versions now.
Or you could go every other one or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll just decide what we want to do.
Okay. And have we heard yet which
Tweety
shape?
says the mandala from last week.
There was a mandala last week.
Sorry,
I think
Tweety,
I blocked out last week, Tweety. All I can remember is being very angry at the chameleons.
But then she just said, yeah. So I'm really sorry, Diana. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to.
Was it I wonder if it's this shape right here she's talking about. Again, I was pointing and not had the picture down.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's this shape. This shape right here is basically the center of the mandala. So if it's that you want, all I do for those is it's just a rounded off like that. Can you see that? So I'm just rounding the tips, following the ray and rounding it off. And it makes a cute little daisy shape. Is that the shape? So then there would be a center. But if it's smaller, you'd go in and you can make it even smaller and round it off. Or you can skip them like I was saying, where you have, I don't want to do it on that. Let me grab this piece of paper.
Well, Tweety, you could always send us an email and we'll try to answer your question for you. Sorry, not quite getting where you're going with it.
Yeah, if it was this one, you can do two as one rather than each and every ray. Like that. So I'm combining two of the teeny tiny little rays, because when they get so small like that, I hate the tiny little details. So combining two rays makes it a little bit easier.
Michaela asked, would Micron archival ink work for inking the mandala?
Yeah, microns are fantastic. I was going to show you, this is my kit that I use in my sketchbook here. So I've got all kinds of tools that I use for inking, and some of them are the microns. Oh, I thought I had my microns in here. I've got microns. Yeah, I've got all kinds of tools in here. I've got my big protractor for when I want to do big circles, because this little tool will only do, this compass will only do so big, you know. You can only get a circle that big, so you have to have a bigger protractor. So this one I bought so that I can get a circle big enough to go all the way to the edge. And when we do my giant mandala, I want to draw a giant mandala, we'll be using this guy. And I still use this though, and you can do your giant mandala. So that's a really nice compass that I bought, but it stabs you. It's like a stabber, so I have to keep it in its own little case or it will puncture everything. It punctures your nice cases. Yeah, it's a killer. It will draw blood. It has drawn blood, let's say that. It has drawn blood. So I keep it in that. So yeah, microns are great. Inking is its own thing. Maybe we'll have to have a discussion one of these days about inking, because you have to be a little bit careful and mindful, because whatever you use to ink with, yeah, make sure you use a tool that when you go to color, it's not going to lift. Like I said, you don't necessarily want to ink with like a water-based pen. You want to use a very permanent type pen. So you can test that. You just, on a scratch piece of paper, scribble a little bit, and then I'm going to be coloring with my Copics. Let's see if I color over it with my Copics. Does it lift or is it permanent? And then you'll know.
To scan it and then.
Right. Yep. All right. I think we have covered a lot of really fun information. I'm really excited about Mandala May. So excited. I have so many mandalas to draw. I'm going to work on this one right here for us for next week. So make sure you come back and make sure you're in our Facebook group and watching for my post where I'm going to ask you for some fun words to add to this page for next week's download. And don't forget to enter for the giveaway so that you can have a chance to win that copy of our Volume 1 Mandala Bliss. And remember that if you want a copy, a free digital copy of Mandala Bliss, all you have to do is become a member over at coloringbliss.com. You'll need to become either a colorist level, an apprentice level, or a partner level. Those are the 3 levels that will give you instant and free access to the digital download of that book. That is so cool that Steve made that available for all of you. So happy Mandala May. You guys didn't even know that you would be celebrating it this month. So a surprise. So I thought that would be so much fun for all of us to celebrate together. So thank you to everyone who donated to our channel tonight. Let's get Rose up here so we can give her a treat and say thank you to everybody who donated. Rosie, come here. We got a treat for you. Come here.
Oh, I think she was talking about... Okay.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, it was this one that we did last night in the Bliss Partners Workshop.
Oh, last night, not last week.
Yeah.
I was so confused. Come on up here, Rose. We have some people to say thank you to. Are you ready? Daddy, are you ready? Oh, she's so ready. She's so ready. Okay, Steve, who's our first thank you for?
Mary Lynn.
Mary Lynn, thank you so much. Oh, she's so ready to say thank you. Okay, stand up. Oh, good girl. Thank you so much, Mary Lynn. Happy Mandala May. Okay, who's next?
Is Angela.
Angela. What do you want to do for Angela? Do you want to shake? Oh, yes, you do. Look at Mama, though. You got to look at Mama. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, that was a big one. Oh, is it delicious? Let's get your hair out of your eyes so they can see your pretty eyes. Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Tamara.
Tamara. Okay, let's break this one in half because that's a big one. All right, are you ready? Let's stand up. Good. Up, up. Right there. Stay. Say thank you, Tamara. Thank you so much for contributing to our channel. Okay, who's next?
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Thank you so much for donating. What do you want to do for Carolyn? What do you want to do? Oh, you want to stand up. Okay. Can you shake your hands like this? Oh, wow. That was fancy. Good girl. It's so hard to do tricks in your bed. All right. Anyone else?
And Jack.
Jack. Thank you so much, Jack. Okay. What are you going to do for Jack? Stand up. Can you move your paws? Go like this. Oh, you stood all the way up. Good girl. Good girl. All right. Thank you so much to everyone who donated. Don't forget to hit like and make sure you're following us so you don't miss any of Mandala May, because I'm planning some impromptu live events this month to celebrate Mandala May. So make sure you're following me and get that bell hit so that you don't miss any notifications. So thanks for everything, you guys. Have a wonderful, happy, colorful Mandala May. Bye-bye, everybody.